The CZ600 series marks the renowned Czech brand moving in a new direction. The firearms world is full of enthusiasts of varying tastes. Some are after the most tactical and functional rifle they can find, while others prefer something with a classic look. While the new 600 series has something for everybody, the American stands out as the pick for a modern traditionalist. There are 8 factory chamberings, with 6 being available through Winchester, Australia so far, starting at 223 and going all the way up to 300 Win Mag. They all hover around the 3.5 kilo mark, so they aren't targeting the ultralight crowd by any means, but they're solid and manageable, perfect for carrying around most hunting situations. The one I received for testing was chambered in 243. The heart of this new series from CZ is in the action, which features a steel receiver that has Remington 700 style mounts on the top. The action has a flat bottom that sits on a bedding plate under the front section, which spreads the load evenly and has a nice recoil lug. A second recoil lug for the action is located behind the magazine, where a cross bolt goes through the stock, securing the action nicely and ensuring the potential for great accuracy is there. The bolt looks different to older CZs. It's been beefed up and now has 6 locking lugs, giving it a short throw, which might open a few more scope mounting options for some people. CZ advertises this rifle as having controlled round feeding, but it's not with the same claw extractor we've come to know with CZs in the past. This one is more of a hybrid system, using a short extractor combined with a plunger ejector. The bolt does pick up and control the cartridge relatively early in the feed cycle, earlier than traditional push feed actions, but not as early as true controlled round feed. The extractor snaps over the rim as the bolt closes, and ejection is positive, responding well to how softly or rigorously you pull the bolt back. While hunting, I didn't have a reason to cycle rounds quickly, but I did so at the range just to make sure the system was reliable. If I was excessively gentle when chambering a round, it had the odd tendency to hang up, but when cycled like I meant it, it was like butter. The magazine is another part of this rifle that offers the best of both worlds. Fully detachable, but allowing for top loading. It doesn't sit perfectly flush with the stock, but it doesn't stick out far enough that it could be considered an intrusion. It's made from polymer, like most magazines these days, and functions well. The magazine release button sits under the stock in front of the magazine and serves as a lock. Once you put the magazine in, slide it forward and it disables the button, eliminating the chance of accidentally bumping it and losing the magazine in the field. As with other rifles in the CZ600 range, the barrel is connected to the receiver with 3 cross bolts, but CZ stipulate that a gunsmith is required to change the barrels out. It's referred to as a light barrel, but it's not what I'd call a pencil-thin ultralight. It starts at 22mm at the receiver and tapers down to just under 17mm at the muzzle, where a cap covers up the threads. Most chamberings in this series have 24-inch barrels, whereas the 243 and 308 have 20-inch barrels. Make sure you keep that in mind when you look at the velocity figures in the accuracy chart. It's fully free-floated and finished in CZ's Bobox chemical heat treatment, which looks fantastic but is more durable than traditional bluing. One of the reasons I found this rifle so shootable was the trigger, which is the best I've ever felt in a CZ. It's single stage and breaks crisp. You can adjust it externally so you don't need to take the rifle apart, and an Allen key will allow you to select between 4 different settings, ranging from about 600 grams up to 1.3 kilos. I tested each setting on my Lyman trigger gauge over a dozen times, and I'm pleased to say the advertised numbers are spot on. I used all settings in my testing to ensure I got a good feel for the trigger. The safety on the CZ600 is tang mounted and goes through the grip on the stock vertically. While the rifle is cocked, a button behind the trigger guard underneath the grip presses up to turn the safety on. This can easily be done with the index finger of the trigger hand. To get the rifle back to fire, the button behind the bolt is pressed with the thumb. The bolt remains locked while the safety is on, but there is a small button in front of the bolt handle on the right side of the receiver that can be pressed while lifting the bolt at the same time to open the action while leaving the rifle on safe. The safety was nice and quiet, and I found it positioned well for functional use while hunting. The stock is made from Turkish walnut that has subtle figuring in the grain. It's finished with an oiled satin sheen that helps to show off some of the grain, but will also wear better than high gloss. The straight comb flows into a modest pistol grip that most shooters should find comfortable, and a length of pull of just over 35 centimeters should fit almost everyone. Both the grip and the forend feature fleur-de-lis accents that are cut nice and sharp and add to the traditional look. The recoil pad is nice and soft and would likely take the sting out of some of the larger cartridges nicely, but the 243 certainly didn't need to be tamed. The claim with sporting rifles in the CZ600 lineup is sub-MOA at 100 metres with 3-shot groups, and this rifle lived up to that claim. When testing the accuracy of this rifle at the range, I used a Meopta Optica 5 4-20 by 50mm that was supplied from Winchester, Australia. We'll do a separate review on that scope later. As usual, my ammo was purchased with help from my friends at Caliber Country in Tamworth. PPU 90 grain and Federal 80 grain averaged less than 1.5 MOA. Norma 76 grain came in comfortably at around 3/4 MOA, and the Seiko 90 grain was a standout, averaging just half MOA. In the case of this Seiko ammunition, I need to clarify that this wasn't just one good day at the range. I first sighted in with this ammo before the accuracy testing and used it while hunting, and it always performed around the half MOA mark. While out bush with this rifle, we took multiple animals with shots from both sitting and supported positions off improvised structure in the field. The great trigger really made me feel my further shots were placed with utmost confidence, and for some of the closer shots in tighter country, the 20-inch barrel proved handy. The 243 is right in the ballpark for a northern New South Wales cartridge, which is where I live, but the smaller chamberings would see this rifle make a great walk-around fox outfit. On the other hand, a 30-06 or 300 Win Mag would be a great sambar rifle for a traditionalist, and the Bobox treatment on the hardware would give you a little less cause for concern if you were to get wet. The CZ600 American strikes the right balance between heritage and innovation. It looks and feels like a rifle that's got a rich history, but it shoots and functions like something from the modern age. The fact that it all comes in a package for less than 2,000 Australian dollars is perhaps the most impressive part yet, and I'm not sure you'd be able to find a rifle of similar aesthetics, similar modern features, and the same performance for less money.